For the past 13 or 12, I'm not sure, days, large protests and riots have been going out throughout Iran, calling for regime change. I believe the US and its other allies in the Middle East, and hopefully other allies in Europe and hopefully Canada, should strike Iran to protect protesters and help them build a new democratic Iran. First, I'm going to paint you a picture of what type of regime is currently ruling Iran. So far, the Iranian government has killed 3,400 people in these protests and have declared them all as enemies of God, which comes with a death sentence. Iran has brutally cracked down on these protests by shooting and beating them to death, even those who surrendered. These crackdowns are being led by the Islamic Revolutionary Guard, which is directly controlled by the Ayatollah, or supreme leader of Iran. Ruled by a tyrannical Islamic theocracy where all laws must be checked so that they follow the radical version of Islam that the regime believes in. While the president and parliament are elected by the people, the supreme leader of Iran, or the Ayatollah, practically has complete control over these branches of government and also has enormous amounts of official power as well. Iranian state forces are known to kill and torture political prisoners and do the same to civilians. The rights of non-Muslim people are extremely restricted, as well as the rights of women. The government does not consider age when carrying out punishments, including execution, and there is no freedom of press, where there is constant imprisonment of journalists and all opposition is crushed. Now I'm going to paint you a picture of the type of allies that Iran has in its so-called axis of resistance, a group of terrorists funded by the Iranian government. And if you want to skip this part, here's the timestamp. Hezbollah. Hezbollah is a terrorist organization turned political party in Lebanon. They have the second most amount of seats in the Lebanese parliament and are also part of the Lebanon government, as well as directly controlling territory within Lebanon. They aim to form Lebanon into an Iranian-style theocracy and destroy Israel as a state. They take direct orders from the Iranian government, who serves as their main funder and lifeline. In the past, they were a more traditional terrorist organization, but now opt for military terrorism or war crimes, where they launch bombs at civilians, mostly Israeli civilians. Bashar al-Assad. Bashar al-Assad, or the Butcher of Damascus, was the former dictator of Syria. His government was seen as especially brutal compared to other dictatorships in the area. During the Arab Spring, the people finally rose up against his tyrannical regime and started a civil war. During this war, Assad committed multiple war crimes, including, but not limited to, bombing civilians, random arrests at large scale, torture and murder of children and hospital patients, and denial of water and food and medical treatment to certain areas. The rebels did commit war crimes, but Assad was considered especially gruesome and carried out the majority of heinous war crimes. Iranian funding was crucial to maintaining the Assad's government rule as long as it did before it was toppled. Hamas, formerly a political party and terrorist organization in a democratic Palestine, after a victory in 2006 in an election which split Palestine between the two major parties, Hamas has ruled over the Gaza Strip tyrannically. It is dedicated to the subjugation and murder of all non-Muslims in Israel. The Houthis, a radical Islamic terrorist organization in northern Yemen, controlling large swaths of territory. Dedicated to the destruction of Israel, it has launched multiple rocket attacks at Israeli civilians. Its crimes consist of slavery, zero rights for women, torture of anyone suspected to be of the LGBTQ community, creating a famine so that people join the military, and imprisonment of all independent journalists. Iran is also categorized as a threshold nation for nuclear weapons, meaning that they have enough uranium and enough experts to create a nuclear bomb in a matter of months. The strikes against the nuclear capabilities in June did virtually nothing against this. If Iran gets nukes similar to North Korea, they will be impenetrable against foreign intervention. The people have protested the regime a multitude of times, and this time is different because the entirety of Iran is demanding regime change, where beforehand, smaller groups of protesters a lot of the time were silently cracked down and concessions were made. The protests are dying down. Without our help, they will not succeed. We have nothing to lose. What required a full invasion beforehand now requires a couple of bombs and negotiations. That's why I call for intervention in Iran, and I call for it now. Now, there are a couple problems with intervention in Iran. Because the U.S. military is stretched thin currently, it would be hard to launch strikes against Iran. Possible retaliations could be dire, including an Iranian blockade of the Strait of Hormuz, which transports $2 billion of oil and other resources daily, a campaign which could be extremely difficult to stop. U.S. allies in the region have shown timid or even opposition to U.S. intervention in Iran. So currently, the only possible allies are Israel and small ethnic armies. Unlike Venezuela, Iran has an air defense capability, making it so American jets can't just fly over. Any plane going into Iranian airspace will be the B-2 bomber because of its stealth capabilities. And of course, there are also missile strikes, which would be the most likely and main source of bombing. We could also use cyber attacks, which would bring internet back to the Iranian people and cripple their finances. And the final solution would be a blockade of all Iranian ships carrying oil coming out of Iran, which would be devastating since the Iranian economy relies on oil wealth. So let me give you the full plan. First, bomb as many government and military facilities, mainly Islamic Guard, as possible. Take out key Iranian leaders, including the supreme leader, and make it so that it doesn't become a Libyan civil war situation where the country falls into turmoil after regime change by working with the opposition to unify it and find a leader for the opposition, a protester, or the Shah who currently lives in the U.S. Negotiate with the ethnic groups so they will fight for the opposition and in reward granted autonomy. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Take it.
American girls, American guys, we'll always stand up and salute. We'll always recognize when we see your glory flying. There's a lot of men dead, so we can sleep in peace at night when we let down our head. My daddy served in the army, where he lost his right eye, but he flew a flag out in our yard. Till the day that he died, he wanted my mother, my brother, my sister, and me to grow up and live happy in the land of the free. Now this nation that I love is falling under attack. He might a suck punch came flying from somewhere in the back, so he could see it clearly through our big black eye. And we lit up your world like the 4th of July. Hey, Uncle Sam put your name at the top of his list, and the Statue of Liberty started shaking her fist, and an eagle will fly, and it's gonna be hell when you hear Mother Freedom started ringing her bell, and it'll feel like the wide world is raining down on you. Oh, brought to you courtesy of the red, white, and blue. Ooh, justice will be served and the battle will rage. This big dog will fight when you rattle his cage. You'll be sorry that you messed with the U.S. of A. Well, put a boot in your ass, it's the American way. Hey, Uncle Sam put your name at the top of his list, and the Statue of Liberty started shaking her fist, and an eagle will fly, and it's gonna be hell when you hear Mother Freedom started ringing her bell, and it'll feel like the whole wide world is raining down on you. Oh, brought to you courtesy of the red, white, and blue. Of the red, white, and blue. Of my red, white, and blue.